So I want to give you a little behind the scenes look at the Breitling Super AVI campaign that I directed and photographed. Breitling reached out to me and wanted to talk about a new campaign they were coming out with called the Super AVI, which was about 4 different watches that they were going to release, all themed around 4 iconic warbirds, including the Mosquito, the Warhawk, Mustang, and Corsair. Breitling partnered with Spring Studios in the UK, so I got to work with them and their creative director, Matt Brook, at the time, where we went over Breitling's idea and tentative shot list, figured out what we could accomplish and what was possible. As we worked on that, we started sourcing the pilots, the planes, and the locations. At the same time, I was trying to put together a crew of people because this was going to be kind of a bigger production with only about 2 days to execute all of these stills in motion that they needed. So I reached out to James Weiniger to be my DP for this. So we ended up landing on a location of Virginia Beach, Virginia at the Military Aviation Museum, which was a perfect place for this, kind of like a playground, tons of space, beautiful green runways. So we all headed out there and got to work. The first day we spent a lot of time doing interviews, hero shots on the ground, and B-roll. But we finished the day with the pilots getting in their planes, got some footage of them in the cockpit delivering some lines for the video portion of this campaign. The next day we wanted to do the air-to-air portion of this, so James and I jumped in our photo ship, got up in the air, where we were going to rendezvous with the 4 planes, only to find out that the Mosquito was having trouble starting, so we decided to kind of flip the shot list in reverse. So while we waited for the Mosquito that was hopefully going to meet up, we decided to do the single shots of each individual plane, which we were able to accomplish. And by the time that we finished that, the Mosquito was up and running and met up with us, where we knocked out its single shots. Most important part of this was the formation. So we had all of the 4 aircraft line up, get in position, and knock out, which was the key shot, which would be in their stores, on billboards, social media, and all that good stuff. So we landed and got back to work on the ground, where we knocked out more B-roll, more hero shots, and some more interviews, and were able to finish it with just a few minutes to spare. It was an incredible production. I think the only negative part of this whole thing was just that it was so hot. It was in the high 90s with high humidity and no cloud cover whatsoever. So we did our best to try to get the shots that needed to be in the sun as quickly as possible so we could hop out. We were even having problems with the cameras overheating, so there was quite a bit of a challenge there as well. Overall, the production was great. Had a blast being able to work with so many good and talented people, as well as working with Breitling again. They know how to do things big. After all was said and done, it was amazing once they launched the campaign to be able to see the final pieces, the video aspect of everything up on their website, on YouTube, and other social media platforms, as well as from a photographer's standpoint, being able to see my work out in the world, inside of all of their boutiques, and then even getting messages from all over the world from people sending me pictures when they would see the images on billboards and in newspapers or magazines and things like that. And I think the coolest part for me out of all of this was seeing that key shot that I photographed on a large metal print in the flagship store on Madison Avenue in Manhattan, New York. That just was one of those kind of things that you just, as a photographer, you always kind of strive for and kind of hope for and dream of. And so to see that in that store was pretty amazing. That's it. That's the story. A little behind the scenes of what it took to get these shots and this footage for this campaign. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.
Roger that. Out of here.